This is the truth of John Fitzgerald's assassination, a critical, controversial assassination that the nation is not now survivably recovered from. But the John F. Kennedy's assassination is exactly not what you think it really is. But the occasions there was actually two directly assassins. And one of the occasions, who was that other assassin? Kennedy was shot, but there's two filmings. There's two major big filmings. One shows his head fall forward, while the other shows his head fall off the other way around, back of his head. But which one? Why is that true? Or did John F. Kennedy get shot twice by two bullets, but that other bullet's a mystery in the other part of his head? Is that the true story? Because when half of his head got flying off, it was a tragedy when JFK died. And John F. Kennedy's assassination lays one of the most unknown things during the occasions, because the fabrications of the issue is a big issue that no one has figured out since Quarterly, and that is why we're discovering it right now. The occasions of Kennedy's assassination was by cordial that the occasions, because some of these stuff don't make sense. We will be discussing the whole story in a few seconds. But this true story of JFK's assassination really begins with Lee Harvey Oswald. Oswald was a CIA agent, but he was also a man who was clinical patient. Let's tell you the story we know today. He went to Dairy Plaza. He was not only a patient, his occasions, but as fatal, he shot it from his home, they said. People would have noticed that people directly would have noticed and knew that probably it would kill. It was occasions. And one of the things that is not true that Oswald really did it is the fact that there is no pictures of Oswald shooting John F. Kennedy. And there is no evidence of the Oswald killing him. Did Oswald really kill John F. Kennedy? Or did the citadel of the shadow government, or maybe the Illuminati, a cynical figure that is stated in the occasions of the Kennedy family, and the canonical issues of the canonical occasions of the Kennedy family, of the issues, of the occasions, ideas, and the casual ideas of the Kennedy family. Because the Kennedy family has been depth in a big ideas, and the death of the Kennedy family is a big misfortune of why John F. Kennedy died in Corshall. Because the death of John F. Kennedy shocked the nation, and how did it shock the nation? It shocked the nation bigly, because JFK was dead of occasions. Well, did Lee Harvey Oswald really kill him? There is no evidence of him shooting JFK and occasions. But the one thing we only know, CIA agents only said that his occasions, and to the truth story was, his window actually was down, and it would be impossible to kill JFK at that level. Or did he go somewhere else? Well, that would be because Kennedy's assassination couldn't be that low and too fast. The occasion where JFK was shot in the head was directly and total. But one of the most interesting figures in this presidential assassination was the person and legal ideas of one person, the Babushka lady. The Babushka lady is a strange lady that no one knows to this day who was that day. But why was the Babushka lady all warm in these warm clothes, dressed for hidden identity? People don't know what the day is, but the Babushka lady actually was. The mortal identikit. It was actually the person who killed John F. Kennedy. But who is the Babushka lady? Or was it a man? Or was it an old man? The cudgel of the Illuminati. The Illuminati and the CIA were both like each other. They both agreed along with each other. They were each other. The Illuminati is a physical figure that we have evidence that the Illuminati killed JFK. This may not make any sense, but actually it does, because the Illuminati actually developed the ideas of the occasions of a new portal that directly leads to a place to actually stop. But if JFK was chemical, why Kennedy was assassinated he wasn't worrying it out. He called away his things to protect him. And do you know what happened? The Entacle of the Illuminati, that was a figure that was always in the lift. Places like Dallas, JFK didn't understand anything. And Kennedy was actually killed. And the chemical. But the Illuminati actually killed John F. Kennedy. And those were the true killers of JFK. Because you think JFK was assassinated, by people who developed their own interests. Well, in the perfect times, the only times of the assassination of John Fitzgerald Kennedy, John F. Kennedy actually was the person who directly and defensively made the presidential power a event. But as we lost the leader, his head targeted looked more like a knife. But did the CIA agents chronicle his ideas? Or did they flew the night over there? Or does his own bodyguard kill him? People would notice that. Except the gun. There was a fire shot that really led the nation to. Vice President Lyndon Johnson probably knew about it. There was evidence that Lyndon Johnson knew about it and that he was involved during the scheme to kill JFK because of the Illuminati Secret Committee. And did he work with the Illuminati? This may not make sense, but the developing of issues that they had a transporter to Cannibal to transport all their members to a distance. And they actually killed JFK in an airplane. But did the Illuminati, they very close to Dallas, kill JFK in an airplane? Air Force One. Did Air Force One, hours before, a few minutes before JFK was assassinated, almost land, but didn't land, and was about to take off and going to shoot him down from an airplane? Did Air Force One? Lyndon Johnson was sworn in on Air Force One, and his buddies were all killed. But Lee Harvey Oswald was actually committed for this ideas, the issues of they shot him from an airplane, and the casual truth of the John F. Kennedy assassination is the truth about John F. Kennedy's assassination. Because you may think JFK being assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald. That's the only prediction that anyone's found. Now let's legal to the truth and the admittance of the actual truth of JFK's assassination. They shot him down from an airplane, and they wanted to do so because of its casual ideas of an airplane, and the wonderful ideas of how long does the airplane ignored is how JFK was actually shot down from an airplane. And Air Force One. It was the easiest to get it. But also, the CIA agent should have noticed this airplane. This may not make sense, but the airplane was invisible. You might not see it, but the invisibility was actually not from the airplane, but is how the airplane fell. It actually contended how it actually happened. But how did there really be an airplane? That doesn't make any sense, an airplane on that day. But the truth was the fact that the airplane was high, and it put it high up in the air. And right as JFK was shot and no one was paying attention, the person shot him and went right into the air, and people were suffering the tragedy occasion. But some people should have noticed. People actually did. But a few minutes later, those people in the CIA were not letting any hope and said to be lying about their proof of seeing an airplane. Because people have been shocked, and many tons of people realized an airplane. But they did a fire gun that can go really high, and people will ignore the airplane. But some people were prodigious and doesn't know why was there be an airplane in the sky shooting. This may not be sense, but this is the truth, and it actually adds up into the movie of Occasions. There's a weird line in Occasions. But another thing that's weird, that has proof that the remove of the JFK assassination was because JFK was actually assassinated by the CIA's deal to get rid of him, and the Illuminati to maintain its own ideas. Because the presidency of JFK is a presidency of article presidents, a violation of the presidency and the issues of John F. Kennedy, truly assassination on November 22nd, 1963. And it was a chemical death that shocked the nation. But this is the truth. And Lee Harvey Oswald actually left his home and actually made standard and hid for his station, but was pretty much and was actually there. And he went back in his room. The next time when he went back in his room, a few hours later, after JFK was assassinated, no one see him as being crazy, and that would make him the person who killed JFK for tons of reasons and tons of negotiation reasons. So that is why when he was arrested. This is the truth of JFK's assassination. I hope you enjoyed the episode about the truth of JFK's assassination. These episodes may not make sense, but this is the truth. We'll see you soon. And Occasions of the Truth of Kennedy's assassination is in this episode.